Well, hello, lovelies. Just here for a little sit down and chat. I was inspired to do this little Where Are We Now tag after watching my friend Kara from Beauty and the Frizz do this. I have since gone back and watched K Bella Beauty because Kara said she saw Kelly do that video. Now, of course, I will have the creators that seem to have originally created this tag down below as well, linked in the description, so you can check all of these lovely people out. But this, I thought, had some really intriguing questions, and I really enjoyed hearing the answers of other people. And I just thought it would be a good reflection going back on seeing where my YouTube journey has taken me. I think it's also, I'm coming up on my birthday. My birthday will be next week, and I'm like, maybe this is just a good time to be like introspective, retrospective, all of the spectives. Now, if we haven't met before, my name is Kelly, and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist, and here on my channel, I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. So now, let's dive right into these questions. Okay, so number one is, do you still feel the same about having your channel as you did when you started? It's hard for me to say, like, when my channel started. It's sort of like if you were ever dating somebody and you were just kind of sort of thinking about dating them, and then you're like, okay, but now we're official. I'm not sure when the official date of my YouTube channel I should really consider, because as I've mentioned before, I think there was like a part-time YouTuber tag, which I'll have linked down below. But one of the questions was like, how did your channel start or whatever? And for me, I've always been into makeup and beauty YouTube for a long time. I mean, we're talking like a long time. And I always wanted to start a channel. And I just never felt like I could. I didn't feel like I had all of the things that everyone feels. The like less than feel, the unprepared feel. We've all been there. If you are a creator now, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not a creator and you're feeling it right now and you want to be a creator, just do it. But anyway, so the reason I started my YouTube was back in the day when I was on Instagram, you could only have a 60-second video. And so when I wanted to do longer form hair tutorials, 60 seconds is hard being really sped up. So I had just started a channel to be able to have a place to drop my longer hair tutorials. And then I was like, okay, you know what? You just really need to do this. I started doing beauty content and then it just wasn't very regular. So I would say it's probably been closer maybe to 3 years, like 2.5 years now that I've been more like I've been going steady with this channel. I've been going steady for about 2.5 years. So do I feel differently about it? I mean, yes, just because I feel like, I know more of what needs to go into really doing YouTube. So, like, also I feel like I've been trying to up the quality of the content that I do. I mean, definitely looking back and just seeing like, wow, I think it's just an evolution. So yeah, I mean, I feel differently. I also feel like I have a way stronger connection now than I did when I started. I have more of a connection to the community as a whole, like not only people that maybe watch my content, but also other creators. I feel like it's much more of a community. Whereas before, I just felt like I was dropping content into the ether. I guess I just feel more of a connection on every single level. I feel more of a connection with myself as a creator and what that means to me and what I want my content to be, and also with my community, whether that's other content creators or it's people who just enjoy watching my content, which, by the way, thank you very much. I appreciate all of you, every single one of you, every single one, whether you have mentioned something, whether you've typed a comment, hit the like button, whatever it is, like, I appreciate you all so much. It's just so weird to think that there are people who like either find entertainment or value in what I have to say. At any rate, let's move on here. So if you could do anything differently when you started, what would it be? If I could do anything differently, I mean, there are so many things. Where do I start? So I think, first of all, being a little bit more succinct. I'm not the most edited down person when it comes to my content. I try to tiptoe that line between I want the value and I want the information to be there, but I also want it to be me. I want there to be my personality that comes through. You know, if you just want a PowerPoint, I feel like there are a lot of other places you could go to get to get information in that way. So I still want it to be very relatable, right? I mean, my whole tagline is real honest, real relatable, and real fun. And those are the things that I really want to portray. Like, that is truly it. So by the way, if you don't know, I mean, my channel, Keep Beauty Real, it's just my initials, KBR. And I was like, oh, what does that mean to me? And when I was like, Keep Beauty Real, that it just really struck home to me. That is truly what I want. I mean, I want this space to be honest, and I want it to be a relatable space where, you know, as another beauty lover, you feel like it doesn't have to be perfection. It can be just fun. We can also have like honest conversations about the beauty community as a whole, about the way that things affect life. I mean, there's so much more than just makeup that I like to draw in a little bit here on my channel. And yeah, I feel like I'm getting a little bit rambly. But anyway, I just wanted it to be real. But the problem with that is when, at least for me, when I started out, I sort of felt like I was having an identity crisis. You know, I knew what I had seen. I knew the content that I enjoyed watching. I didn't necessarily want to copy that or mimic it, but that's what I knew, if that makes sense, right? So I feel like it's been this journey of trying to bring my personality in, have enough content and information there, and try to find that marriage. So I look back and I feel like either there was like not enough information in a video, or like it got really, really rambly, or I was just like a robot and none of my personality came through. So I feel like I've let more of my personality come through. There is also that point of vulnerability where it's like, okay, how much do I actually share? And so, you know, it's been trying to tiptoe that point. So I guess if there was anything I could change, it would be to let my own voice come out sooner, to find my own path, which that path is probably going to evolve over time, right? So maybe that's really just what it was. It was me finding my path and evolving. But if I could do anything, it would be to figure that out, to figure that voice out a bit sooner. But maybe that's really not possible. It's all about life experiences, right? So the third question is, how has your filming schedule changed since you started, or has it stayed the same? I mean, schedule, that's sort of a loose term. You know, my own like quote unquote day job schedule has changed a bit since I started. And so part of that was just, you know, honestly, in the last couple of years, I think we maybe all figured out that we were just hitting the grindstone way too hard and maybe needed to pull back a little bit. And so I have taken myself out of the salon a little bit, or at least changed my schedule around to where I'm not going in as many days, you know. And my business, like so many in the last couple of years, had a period of time that it couldn't be open. So I had 8 weeks there where I had a very flexible schedule. And so, you know, finding time to film content in that time was so much easier. And then it's like, ooh, I got back into going to the salon. It's like, okay, how am I going to make this work? And then now, as an educator for Paul Mitchell, I'm out in the field, I'm traveling a lot more. And now it's like, oh, okay, again, I need to find time. Like right now, I am I'm busting my tail because I've been out of town. I've had 3 trips in the last 5 weeks or something like that. And so those trips have been over the time that I would normally be filming. And so what that means is I've had to find other time to be able to like cram it all in. And I used to do up to 3 videos a week, sometimes even more than that. And now I'm like, okay, I will feel happy if I get 2 videos a week up. And even then, it means some early mornings or some late nights, or really trying to do some editing while I have clients that are processing at the salon. It's kind of chaotic. So that schedule, wow, this has gone all over the place. So schedule is a very loose thing. It's really just about finding time where I can get it in right now, because I won't necessarily always have certain days. Like for me, Mondays and Tuesdays have been days that are flex days for me, right? So I might be teaching a class, I might be needing to get some office work done for the salon, or doing some behind the scenes things that don't actually involve having hands and hair, or I'm filming or I'm editing or doing something like that. So I guess I just have less time now in some ways, but also the same as I originally had at the very beginning of starting my channel. I mean, I had less time than I did, like, let's say a year ago, but I have more time than I did at the start of my channel, just because I was working in the salon way, way more. But I also feel like I just have more life stuff going on. So I probably have about the same amount of time. It's honestly just about, for me, I have to look at the week or two ahead and figure out where I can get those blocks of time in. So I don't have the privilege right now of saying like, oh, every week from this time to this time, this is when I'm going to do this. It just doesn't work that way. My schedule is just too much of a flex to really be able to do that. So it's really just like a week at a time. I try to block time out and it goes a week at a time. I don't know if I'm answering any of these questions correctly, but this is just going to be random rambles and we'll see where this all goes. So number 4 is, what surprised you the most about having a channel? Honestly, the community. I mean, as a YouTube consumer, as someone who consumed content, I was never really the person who like reached out to a lot of other people, a lot of other viewers. I've always been one to like comment if the mood struck me. I'd be watching, like, let's say Kathleen Lights. You guys I've talked about Kathleen before, how I used to watch her content religiously, like every single video. I mean, I would always comment if I felt like there was something that I wanted to add in or whatever. But I was never the person who was like really engaging in the comments. And I think it is so cool to see that. And of course now with having a channel, I'm doing that more, not even just with my own following, but like I love if I'm watching, a friend's video or something and someone says something in the comments, I love like adding my little like bit in. I just love having those conversations. And there's something about having a channel that has brought that forth for me a little bit more. And that I just find so fun. And I just think it's so cool how there is this community of people who have found a passion, or whether you call it a hobby or whatever you want to say, but it really is this little community, and I love that. What do you like the most and the least about having a channel? Okay, well, the community. This is going to be the one that I don't ramble on about, because it's the community 100%. I really have found so many amazing people through doing this. Like, it has been very valuable. I mean, I have found friends that I know that I will talk to forever and ever. Like, I just know that. I was actually just, I was just talking to Stephen Ford as I'm sitting outside of Target today. And I was just, saying, like, I mean, we have truly become friends that goes much more beyond makeup and beauty. And I never would have met Stephen if it weren't for YouTube, for the beauty sphere, and I love that. And I have so many people, I mean, Kara, Aileen, like so many people in my life that I really talk to a lot. And the people that I have just gotten to know through my channel that maybe started out, maybe we watched the same channel, maybe they watched me, whatever, and we've just gotten to be friends over time. Like, whether it's someone that I actually talk to texting, Marco Polo, whatever, or it's someone that I just chat with a little bit on Instagram, it's like, wow, I just love this. I just love these connections. And a lot of times it's not even makeup. It's not even makeup that we're talking about. Okay, a lot of the time it is makeup. We talk a lot about makeup, but there are many times where we talk about so much more than makeup. So I love that. What do I like least about having a channel? I mean, I don't want to say the time that it takes, because I enjoy every aspect of it. I enjoy the filming, I enjoy the research, I enjoy the editing. It is finding the time. It's not the time that it takes, it's finding the time. I mean, I don't so much love thumbnails. I'm just not great with thumbnails. Maybe thumbnails. Okay, so other than the time, it's the thumbnails. Like, and the thumbnails are so important. And it's just like every time I do it, I'm like, I think they're all just shite. So anyway, maybe that, but honestly, like, finding the time and the thumbnail. So number 6 is, are you able to come up with video ideas easily, or is that a challenging aspect? I would say a little bit of both. I mean, I love doing beauty reviews. I mean, I wouldn't say that that's all I do here on my channel. I mean, first of all, I don't have the budget for that, but like, I love doing that. And I love, you know, being a woman over 40, I think that there just isn't enough representation. I mean, I realize that there are even further minorities like represented here in the beauty community. So I'm not trying to like overshadow that, but I do think that like so much of the content created is like 20 somethings, you know, and so there just is a different need. And especially in a niche where it's maybe not people over 40 that are just wearing neutral eyeshadow looks, as I'm sitting here wearing a neutral eyeshadow look, which by the way, this look will probably already be up. I did a two-look tutorial, or sort of like a two-look tutorial using the Sydney Grace Coffee Talk palette. So that's what this is if you'd like to see that. I just had a lot of people requesting the little like smoky liner moment, and I sort of just evolved it into this. So if you'd like to see that, I will make sure to have that video up. But anyway, I mean, I love wearing shimmers. I love wearing multi-chromes. I love wearing color. I also love a good neutral moment, obviously, but I think that there's an underrepresented group of people who enjoy wearing color and, you know, are like celebrating each other, not giving a damn about what people think. You know, like there is not an appropriate age range for anything. It's makeup. It all washes off at the end of the day, and if it makes you happy, do you. And again, I don't care if you want to wear all the makeup, or you want to wear no makeup, or you just want to wear mascara or like a bright lip and nothing else. Like, do you. I just think that like there's an underrepresentation of women of my age and older. So I enjoy getting to be that voice. I think when I originally started my channel, or when I thought about originally starting my channel, I would not have been that voice. And so I guess now, because I mean, this would have been like 15 years ago, right? So I would have been much younger, but I think that I find a value in being able to represent a certain demographic in this community. Wow, that was not the question. How did we get there? Okay, so are you able to come up with video ideas easily, or is that a challenging aspect? How did I even get to where I just got? All right, so at any rate, video ideas. Okay, so beauty reviews, here we go. So I think doing beauty reviews is great. I mean, that right there, you know, I have made a promise to myself that I would not purchase anything just to review it. I will only make purchases if it's something that I think is going to be valuable in my own collection, just because I find that to be wasteful, because at the end of the day, what I will do is I will purchase it, I will review it, and pass it on to someone, you know, like, so it's just wasting my money. So I won't do that, but I do enjoy reviewing the things that I'm actually genuinely interested in. The other thing is I truly want to help educate people. I mean, that's why I did this little video with the Coffee Talk palette. And, you know, it was something that I hadn't considered doing, but I had several people say that they wanted to see something similar to the few looks that I'd created that sort of this evolved into. So I'm hoping that that's helpful. And so I always want to see, you know, and hear what people would like to see. I mean, sometimes it's something that I can fit in, sometimes it's not, but, you know, I'm always taking that into consideration. And at the end of the day, I just want it to be valuable. I mean, otherwise, if it's not, it's just basically my own personal beauty diary. Right? And you know, sometimes that's been the case. I was actually just talking to a couple friends about, you know, my deck of panning series, and it's like, I've loved doing deck of panning. It has not done well here on my channel, and that's totally cool. I'm going to continue to do deck of panning because I love it and I find it to be so much fun, and it's inspiring and it helps me use my collection. But like, if I'm only going to get 50 views on it, obviously nobody really cares, and so then I'm just not going to share it. So I probably won't be sharing deck of panning anymore. Maybe I'll take a little screenshot and share it on my Instagram in case anybody wants to know what I drew that month. But it's just not something that's like drawing in any views. And again, this is not just my own personal beauty diary. Like, this is supposed to be content that's helpful. So if it's not, then I don't want to share it. So I do think that, you know, I like hearing from viewers. Obviously, there are a lot of different tags like this one that go around that I enjoy doing, just because I like to hear people's thoughts on things. So I do think most of the time it's fairly easy to come up with content. I will say, you know, there are times that people request things, or, you know, different things come up, or even just like time's sake, like how quickly I'll be able to do that video. there sometimes is just content that is not going to be searched for. Tutorials really don't do well anymore, even though people request them. They just don't. It's just not searchable. And so also, you know, even with a review, if you don't get it up within the first few days of something launching, a lot of people just aren't interested anymore. And I mean, I hate that. I hate that, because there's this like rush to like use a product once and then give like a review on it. I don't know how valuable that is, you know, like when I got the most recent Blend Bunny palette, the Primal palette, I did not have the time right then to do a 3-look video and then be like, here you go, here are my thoughts. And it was like, I'd rather just take some time to play with this. And you know what? I'm so glad I did, because I feel like there was a little bit of an evolution of how I thought about that palette, or, you know, what I thought worked, what I thought didn't. And it's just a shame that, you know, maybe if you're like a bigger content creator, people still care 2 weeks later when you drop stuff. Like I've seen some, you know, mid-level content creators bring out videos using products that have been out for a while and they get decent hits. And so maybe when you're there, but if you are a small content creator like myself, like your video is just going to dive down and nobody's going to watch it. So at the end of the day, I think that's more the challenging aspect. Like the new Natasha Denona palette that's coming out, I would like to get that palette. I plan on getting that palette, but I know it's going to arrive when I'm working in LA. And so it's going to sit here, and then when I get back, am I going to have time to use it and film with it right away? Probably not. So that video probably isn't going to do that well. But again, I'm getting that palette because I want the palette. The review and the thoughts on it, and maybe, you know, inspiration from the looks will just be a bonus. So I guess it's more the timing of it than the ideas. I don't know if I'm answering any of these questions the way they're supposed to be answered. I hope you're still with me here, but this is the way that my brain goes. Welcome to my life. Okay, so number 7 is, how do you think you've grown as a creator during your time on YouTube? I think I sort of answered that. I feel like I found my voice a bit more. I feel like definitely my quality has increased. I hope you think so. If you have been here since the basement days of being next door, please let me know down below. Like I would love to be able to give you a shout out, because wow, I go back to some of those videos and I'm like, ooh, it is hella dark. I was filming on a camera that would overheat after like 20 minutes of using it. So I kept having to stop and let it cool down. And I mean, even when I got this camera, I didn't know how to use the focus on it. Like my Sydney Grace swatch collection video, like somebody called me out in the comments like, you know, like basically like half your swatches are out of focus. I'm like, yes, I know. Sorry about that. So I just feel like I've really tried to up the quality a bit more. I mean, there are definitely things that I could do more. I would love to learn a little bit more. There are content creators out there who kill it hardcore with the quality, but I'm trying. I feel like I've come a long way from where I was. And also, like I said, just finding my voice and finding the things that I'm really into, the things that I'm wanting to share, and also just building a great community. So I think that that's, you know, that's part of it too. So the next question, question 8, is, so far, what is the video that you've created that you love the most, or the one that you're the most proud of, and which one do you like the least? Oh, I don't know. I mean, that's a really hard one to answer. So, okay, so truly the videos that I feel the best about are the ones where people comment, thank you so much, this video was so helpful. Like whatever it might be, those are the ones like, oh, anytime I get that, I'm just like, oh, that feels so good inside. Like literally, I just want things to be valuable, you know? I mean, that's at the end of the day. So I feel like I've had several review videos where people have said that. And I mean, I'm not tooting my own horn here. I'm just saying like those videos, what was the most recent one? It might have been the Primal palette video. I had a couple people say like, thank you, this was such an in-depth review. I really appreciated that. I think I've done a couple brush reviews, the Wayne Goss edit. I thought, you know, a lot of people seem to really appreciate. Honestly, like just anything where people say that it's helpful. For me, I would say, and the quality probably isn't that great. I'm kind of thinking about redoing this, but I did makeup mistakes videos when I first had my channel down in the dark basement. And, you know, I mean, I had like 100 subscribers or something like that. So I thought about redoing those and adding in some things, maybe just because now I think you'd be able to see better and some of those things. So I'm really thinking about redoing that, because not many people saw those. And I think that you just get a better view of it. It was like side by side, you know, like just in the ways that I feel that makeup looks the best, right? There are no rules. Wear as much as little, wear it wherever you want, and I don't care. But like, if you're looking to flatter yourself the most, I just have some things, and probably even things that have evolved from where I felt in those videos. So those I really loved. Yeah, the ones that I think are the worst, oh my gosh. I mean, I'm sure some of my early ones, like, first of all, just the rambling. Well, here I am in a very rambly video, but like the it's just, I should have edited it. Like, anytime I go through an edit, I try to go back through and say, okay, what else can I clear out of here that can still go? And I think I should have done that more. And also, I mean, anything like that Sydney Grace video where things were blurry, like that just kills me. And you know, back then, I mean, I didn't know how to fix that, so I should now redo, and I will, because I definitely have like gained more things in my Sydney Grace collection. I do plan on doing another, maybe before Black Friday, I don't know, we'll see, but I'm planning on doing another Sydney Grace swatch video with in focus swatches, hopefully. And every once in a while I do still have like a blurry swatch, just because like sometimes in the monitor when I feel like it's in focus, it really isn't. But I really try. I try really hard. So I guess I can't say that there's any one video that's like the worst to me, just because I feel like it's been a learning experience. So if it's a learning experience, it's been valuable in some way. I don't have a single video that I've like unlisted or deleted as far as I know. So I just kept them all up, because one of these days I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna be like, oh my goodness, look how far I've come. So I've kept everything up. So number 9 is, do you think about long-term goals for your channel, or do you focus on the here and now? I would say a little bit of both. Honestly, I mean, I would love to see this channel grow and have it be a part of my income. I mean, I will say, like, monetarily, I think what I spend, and I'm not even talking about the makeup, the beauty, like not the things for the channel, but what I get from this channel goes towards some of the different subscriptions and things that I have to build my channel. Like, a lot of people use TubeBuddy, for instance, things like that to improve your SEO or learn how to get the best search engine optimization, you know, different things like that. I really want to start doing lives again, because I'm still paying for my subscription for my streaming service for that. So I would like to do that. Let me know if you'd like to see more lives again. That is one thing that I absolutely miss, but that's a side thing. So I would definitely love to see this be built up into something that I am making a little bit more money off of, or a lot of bit more money off of, let's be real. But I think that for me, the best way to focus on doing that is trying to improve my content, trying to improve what I do behind the scenes, you know, get a more regular upload schedule maybe, rather than like, here, I can have time to pop up this video, like something like that. So I think that you have to focus on the quality of the now to get to your long-term goals. And so I would say that I do a little bit of both. Will I ever get there? I don't know. Like, this space is so super saturated, maybe not. But I'm sure I'm enjoying the process of it. So that's really what's important. So the final question is, if you could sit down with your former pre-YouTube self, what advice would you give yourself in regards to having a YouTube channel? I mean, I think I've covered a lot of this. Like, be yourself and be authentic. Not that I feel like I was ever being fake. I just didn't know how to share myself. Yeah. And also, you know, be kind to yourself and not be too much of a perfectionist, which I totally am. And there are times that makes it really hard for me in creating content, because there are times, like, if it's not just flawless, I just want to burn it all to the ground. And I also, though, have this platform of keeping things real, and the reality is that nothing is flawless. And so, myself included, all the time, basically all the time. And I just need to be more kind to myself. So I would say, be kind to myself, be my authentic self, and, you know, just have fun with it. And also maybe just finding a way to budget out time better. I'm still working on that. So hopefully future YouTube me can tell the me now those things. All right. I hope this little rambly Q&A session was enjoyable. I have really enjoyed this journey. I mean, I would love to have a little bit more time to dedicate to this, but this is what I can give it right now. So that being said, let me know what you would like to see from me in the future. That would be incredibly helpful. Like I just mentioned, would you like to see lives again? what usually works. I feel like the community really enjoyed doing lives, but I know all of us have had our lives like just kind of explode again, and we have less free form schedules. So I would really enjoy getting to do that again. I did enjoy just getting to connect with people and chat with people. It's a way for me to connect with everyone. I would really like to get to at least doing one live a month. I think that would be a lot of fun. It would be probably on a Monday or Tuesday for me, just because that is when I'm more available. Maybe a Wednesday. I don't know, like what works best, like a weeknight, a weekend? Are you guys over lives? Would you like to see that? Also, what content has been most valuable for you? I would really love to know that. And again, if you have been here since the dark basement days, I appreciate you. If you've only been here for one day, I appreciate you too. I'm so glad that you clicked on this video, and I'm so glad that we have found each other. Please feel free to leave a comment down below. Again, this community is really what has made this most valuable for me, and I really appreciate all of you. Like, it means so much that we have been able to find this space together. I mean, truly. I appreciate all of you so much, getting to interact with all of you, and hopefully knowing that my content has been valuable to you in some way, even if it's just been entertaining. Even if you haven't learned anything and you just enjoy laughing at me, that's okay too. As long as it's bringing a smile to your day or helpful in some way, that's what I'm here for. So thank you all so much. I will see you really soon.